Have you ever wondered why some people stay calm and happy even when life is not going well, while others feel stressed, tired, or worried even when everything looks normal? Happiness is not always about what happens outside. It is more about what happens inside your mind every single day. This video is about building a way of thinking that helps you stay steady, peaceful, and hopeful no matter what life brings. You are about to learn simple but powerful mindset ideas inspired by Jim Rohn, who believed that personal growth begins with small daily choices. Nothing here is complicated. There are no confusing rules or hard philosophy. Only practical wisdom you can use in real life. If you often feel tired from pressure, if small problems sometimes steal your peace, or if you want to feel more satisfied with your life, this message is for you. Imagine starting your day with clearer thinking, handling stress without losing control, and feeling quiet confidence even when things are uncertain. Happiness every day does not mean life will be perfect. It means learning how to stay strong inside even when the world outside feels noisy or difficult. In the next sections, you will discover habits that help you think better, control emotions, build meaningful goals, and live with purpose. Stay with this video until the end, because one small idea you hear today may change how you live tomorrow. Chapter 14: Cultivate morning habits that set your mood for success. Every morning you wake up with a quiet choice in front of you. Before you speak to anyone, before you check your phone, before the world tells you what to think or feel, there is a small window of time that belongs only to you. That window decides the tone of your entire day. If you guard it and use it with discipline, you build strength and peace. If you waste it, the day controls you. Happiness is not an accident. It is not a gift handed out to a lucky few. It is a result of daily decisions. The first decision happens in the first hour after you wake up. Your morning habits either train your mind toward clarity and purpose, or allow it to drift into stress and distraction. A disciplined morning is not about perfection. It is about direction. It is about choosing to lead yourself before the world attempts to lead you. When your alarm goes off, notice your first thought. Many people begin with resistance. They feel heavy, annoyed, or already tired. That first thought matters. It shapes your posture, your breathing, and your energy. Train yourself to replace that first thought with a deliberate one. Instead of asking why you must wake up, remind yourself that you get to wake up. This simple shift builds strength. You are not forced into the day. You step into it. Do not reach for your phone immediately. The moment you scroll through messages and headlines, you surrender your focus. Your mind becomes reactive. Instead, sit up in your bed and take 10 slow breaths. Feel the air enter your lungs. Feel the air leave. This small act anchors you in control. You prove to yourself that you can pause before reacting. That is power. After those breaths, stand up without delay. Discipline grows when you act quickly on decisions that serve you. Make your bed with care. Straighten the sheets. Smooth the pillows. This simple task sends a message to your brain that order matters. It tells you that you are a person who completes what they start. When you return home later and see that made bed, you see evidence of your morning discipline. Small actions create visible proof of progress. Move your body early. The body influences the mind more than most people realize. A short walk outside, a set of push-ups, gentle stretching, or a few minutes of light exercise awakens your nervous system. As your heart rate rises, blood flows to your brain. You feel alert. You feel capable. This is not about building an athletic body. It is about building an active mind. Even 10 minutes of movement can change your mood. While you move, keep your attention on the sensation of effort. Feel your muscles working. Notice your breathing deepen. This awareness keeps your thoughts from wandering into worry. It trains you to stay present. Presence reduces anxiety because anxiety lives in imagined futures. When you focus on the current step, you strengthen your ability to stay calm later in the day. After movement, nourish your body with intention. Eat something simple and balanced. Drink water. Avoid heavy foods that leave you sluggish. Avoid excess sugar that spikes your energy and then crashes it. Treat your body as an ally. When you feed it wisely, it supports your goals. When you neglect it, it resists you. Happiness is harder when your body feels weak or unstable. Once your body is awake and cared for, turn to your mind. Spend a few minutes in silence. Sit with a notebook and write down 3 clear intentions for the day. Keep them realistic. They should be within your control. For example, complete one important task with full focus. Speak calmly during a difficult conversation. Practice patience when plans change. These are not grand ambitions. They are behaviors. You control your behavior. When you control your behavior, you shape your results. Writing intentions does more than organize your day. It builds internal leadership. You are deciding in advance who you will be. When challenges arise later, you remember what you committed to. You are less likely to act out of impulse because you already chose your standard. Add a short reflection on gratitude. Not a vague statement, but something specific. Be grateful for the roof above you. Be grateful for the strength in your legs. Be grateful for the opportunity to learn from today's challenges. Gratitude does not deny difficulty. It simply balances it. It reminds you that even on hard days, something remains steady and good. This perspective protects your mood from small frustrations. Many people rush through mornings because they believe speed equals productivity. In reality, rushed mornings create rushed minds. A rushed mind makes careless decisions. Careless decisions lead to regret. Slow down your first hour. Speak less. Move with intention. Notice details. When you carry this steady rhythm into the rest of the day, you reduce unnecessary stress. Plan your most important task for the morning. Before distractions multiply, work on what truly matters. Even if you can only dedicate 30 focused minutes, guard that time. Turn off notifications, close extra tabs, give that task your full attention. Completing meaningful work early builds confidence. You begin the day with progress instead of pressure. Understand that mood follows action. If you wait to feel motivated before acting, you will often wait too long. Instead, act first. Make the bed even if you feel tired. Move your body even if you feel lazy. Write your intentions even if you feel distracted. As you act, your emotions adjust. Confidence grows through completed actions, not positive thoughts alone. There will be mornings when you wake up anxious or discouraged. On those days, your routine becomes even more important. Discipline is most powerful when emotions are unstable. Stick to your simple steps. Breathe, move right, eat well, focus. The routine becomes a steady foundation. It tells you that even when feelings shift, your principles remain. Do not aim for a perfect morning. Aim for a consistent one. Some days you may oversleep. Some days you may feel low energy. Adjust without self-criticism. The goal is progress, not punishment. If you miss part of your routine, return to it the next day without drama. Emotional overreaction wastes energy. Calm correction builds strength. Protect your mind from negativity in the early hours. Avoid news that triggers anger or fear. Avoid social media comparisons that spark insecurity. You can engage with the world later from a stable position. First, build your internal stability. Think of your mind as a field. What you plant in the morning grows throughout the day. Plant focus, gratitude, and discipline. Consider adding a few minutes of reading that strengthens your thinking. Choose material that challenges you to improve. Read slowly, reflect on one idea and ask how it applies to your life today. Do not rush through pages for the sake of quantity. Seek depth. One strong idea practiced is more powerful than many ideas ignored. As you prepare to leave your home or begin your workday, pause once more. Stand still and remind yourself of your role. You are responsible for your attitude. You are responsible for your effort. You cannot control traffic, other people's moods, or unexpected problems. You can control your response. This reminder prepares you to handle difficulty without losing composure. Happiness every day does not mean constant pleasure. It means inner steadiness. It means knowing that you acted according to your values. When you build a strong morning, you increase the chances that you will act well under pressure. You enter meetings calmer. You respond to criticism with thought instead of anger. You make decisions with clarity. If you live with others, your morning habits influence them. When they see you wake with purpose, they feel it. When they see you move your body and focus on growth, it sets a tone. You do not need to preach. Your actions speak. Leadership begins at home. Inspire through discipline. Track your mornings for 30 days. Write down what you do and how you feel throughout the day. Notice patterns. You will likely see that on days when you follow your routine, you feel more stable and productive. This evidence strengthens commitment. You are not relying on theory. You are observing results. Remove excuses. Many people claim they do not have time. In truth, they do not have priority. Wake up 30 minutes earlier if needed. Go to bed earlier to support this change. Protect your sleep by reducing late-night distractions. A disciplined evening supports a disciplined morning. Happiness requires structure. Over time, your morning routine becomes automatic. You no longer debate whether to act. You simply act. This reduces mental fatigue. Decision-making consumes energy. When positive habits are automatic, you save energy for important challenges. Remember that every sunrise is a reset. Yesterday's mistakes do not define today's potential. Each morning offers a clean beginning. Use it. If you argued with someone yesterday, choose patience today. If you wasted time yesterday, choose focus today. Growth happens in daily corrections. Visualize yourself at the end of the day. Picture going to bed with a sense of calm because you honored your standards. That calm begins in the morning. It begins when you choose intention over impulse. It begins when you choose movement over stagnation. It begins when you choose gratitude over complaint. As you continue practicing strong mornings, you will notice subtle changes. Your voice becomes steadier. Your posture improves. You think before speaking. You react less. These are signs of internal order. Internal order leads to external results. There will be seasons of life when mornings feel harder. Stress may increase. Responsibilities may grow. During those seasons, simplify your routine but do not abandon it. Even 5 minutes of breathing and reflection is better than none. Consistency, not complexity, creates transformation. Understand that you are training your character. Character is built in private moments when no one is watching. Waking early, moving when tired, writing intentions when distracted. These acts strengthen integrity. Integrity brings peace. Peace supports happiness. If you ever question whether these small habits matter, look at people who lack them. Notice the rushed mornings, the scattered focus, the reactive moods. See how easily their day collapses under pressure. Then look at those who move with calm and clarity. Their mornings are rarely chaotic. Order creates resilience. Do not wait for a major life event to change. Change tomorrow morning. Prepare tonight by deciding what time you will wake up and what you will do first. Lay out your clothes. Set your notebook on your desk. Reduce friction. Make discipline easier. When your alarm rings tomorrow, remember that you are shaping more than a single day. You are shaping your identity. You are becoming a person who leads themselves. That identity compounds over months and years. Small daily improvements create a powerful life. Happiness every day, no matter what, is not a promise that nothing will go wrong. It is a commitment to respond with strength. Your morning routine is your training ground. It is where you build the mental and physical habits that carry you through storms. Wake with purpose, breathe with awareness, move with energy, write with intention, work with focus, speak with calm, repeat daily. Over time, you will not need to chase happiness. It will follow the order and discipline you practice each morning. Chapter 2. I commit to small daily wins that build lasting joy. Most people search for happiness in big moments. They believe joy will arrive when they earn more money, reach a major goal, receive recognition, or finally solve all their problems. This belief quietly steals their peace. When happiness is tied to distant outcomes, every ordinary day feels incomplete. The truth is simpler and more powerful. Lasting joy is built through small daily wins. It grows from progress you can see and feel right now. A small win is any action that moves your life forward, even slightly. It is not dramatic. It does not require applause. It requires intention and follow-through. When you commit to small daily wins, you train your mind to look for growth instead of waiting for perfection. This shift changes everything. Start by redefining what a win means. A win is not limited to big achievements. It can be finishing a task you have been avoiding. It can be choosing patience instead of anger. It can be preparing a healthy meal instead of ordering something quick and careless. It can be reading 10 pages of a book that improves your thinking. These actions may seem minor, but they are not small in impact. They shape your identity. Your brain responds strongly to completion. When you finish something meaningful, even if it is brief, your mind releases a sense of satisfaction. This satisfaction builds confidence. Confidence encourages further action. This is how momentum begins. Without small wins, days blur together and motivation fades. With small wins, each day contains proof that you are growing. Begin by choosing one area of your life that needs attention. It could be health, work, relationships, or personal discipline. Do not try to fix everything at once. Focus on one clear behavior you can improve today. Make it realistic. If you want to improve your health, commit to walking for 15 minutes. If you want to improve your focus, commit to working without distraction for 20 minutes. If you want to improve your relationships, commit to sending one thoughtful message or having one meaningful conversation. The key is consistency. A small win repeated daily becomes a powerful force. Many people underestimate this because they are drawn to dramatic changes. They want instant transformation. But real growth is steady and controlled. It is built through repetition. At the end of each day, record your win. Write it down. Keep it simple. Seeing your progress on paper strengthens your resolve. Over time, you will have a visible record of discipline. On difficult days, you can look back and see evidence that you are capable. This protects your mindset from doubt. Small wins also train you to value effort over outcome. You cannot control every result. You can control your actions. When you focus on what you can do today, you reduce anxiety about the future. You direct your energy toward behavior instead of worry. This creates calm and clarity. Do not wait to feel ready. Action creates readiness. If you delay until conditions are perfect, you will delay forever. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take one step. That step matters more than you think. There will be days when your energy feels low. On those days, shrink the size of your win, but do not remove it. If you plan to exercise for 30 minutes and feel exhausted, exercise for 10. If you plan to write 1,000 words and feel blocked, write 200. Protect the habit of winning daily. The size can change. The commitment should not. Small wins build trust in yourself. When you promise something and deliver, even in minor ways, you strengthen self-respect. Many people struggle with happiness because they repeatedly break promises to themselves. They plan to wake up early but do not. They plan to save money but spend impulsively. They plan to learn but waste time. Each broken promise weakens confidence. Each kept promise restores it. Joy is closely tied to integrity. When your actions align with your intentions, you feel steady. You walk through your day without hidden guilt. You speak with clarity because you are not disappointed in yourself. This inner alignment is more valuable than temporary pleasure. Consider the compound effect of small daily wins. Saving a small amount of money each day builds financial security over time. Reading a few pages daily expands your knowledge significantly in a year. Practicing patience daily improves your relationships deeply. These improvements may not be dramatic at first, but they accumulate. 1 year of small, consistent effort can separate you completely from your old self. Guard against comparison. Your small win does not need to impress anyone else. It only needs to move you forward. When you compare your progress to others, you distract yourself from your own path. Focus on your previous self. Ask if you are slightly better today than you were yesterday. That is enough. Structure your day around achievable progress. Instead of writing a long list of tasks that overwhelms you, choose 3 priorities. Complete them with full attention. Finishing 3 meaningful tasks brings more satisfaction than starting 10 and completing none. Completion builds strength. Incompletion builds frustration. Reward yourself in healthy ways. After completing a focused work session, take a short walk. After finishing a challenging conversation, allow yourself a few minutes of quiet reflection. These rewards reinforce positive behavior. They tell your mind that effort leads to positive outcomes. Be honest about distractions. Notice how often you interrupt your own progress. Social media, unnecessary browsing, and endless checking of messages steals small wins from your day. Set boundaries. Decide specific times to check your phone. Protect blocks of focused work. Each time you resist distraction, count it as a win. Self-control is a victory. Small wins also include emotional discipline. If you normally react sharply when criticized, choose calm once. If you usually avoid difficult conversations, address one respectfully. Emotional maturity grows through repeated controlled responses. Over time, you become someone who handles pressure with steadiness. Accept that setbacks will occur. Missing a day does not erase progress. The danger is not in failure but in quitting. When you fall short, analyze calmly. Ask what interfered. Adjust your plan. Continue. Resilience is built through recovery, not perfection. Teach yourself to notice improvement. Many people overlook their growth because they are focused on what remains undone. Shift your attention. At the end of the week, review your small wins. Observe patterns of consistency. Feel pride in your effort. This reflection fuels motivation. Keep your standards firm but realistic. Do not excuse laziness, but do not demand impossible performance. Balance discipline with wisdom. Push yourself gently forward without harsh self-judgment. Sustainable progress requires patience. As weeks turn into months, your identity will change. You will see yourself as someone who acts daily. This identity creates deeper happiness than any single achievement. You will trust your ability to handle challenges because you have trained consistently. Understand that joy is not noise or excitement. It is quiet satisfaction. It is the calm knowledge that you are living with purpose. Small daily wins generate this quiet strength. They create a stable base that external events cannot easily shake. When you wake each morning, ask one simple question. What is one action that would make today meaningful? Choose it, complete it. Mark it, repeat tomorrow. This process may seem simple, but simplicity applied daily transforms lives. Over time, the habit of winning daily spreads into every area. You eat better because you value progress. You speak more carefully because you respect growth. You manage your time with intention because you understand its power. Your life becomes structured around improvement rather than reaction. Commit today to earning at least one win before the day ends. Do not leave your happiness to chance. Build it through action. Protect it through discipline. Strengthen it through repetition. When you look back months from now, you will not remember every task, but you will feel the strength that consistent effort created. Lasting joy is not found. It is built. It is built quietly, daily, through small decisions that align with your values. Make those decisions. Keep them simple. Keep them steady. In time, you will realize that happiness was never waiting in the distance. It was growing inside each small victory you chose to earn. Chapter 30. Practice mindful breathing and focus to calm your mind. Breathing is the most available tool for calming the mind, and the easiest practice to carry into any situation. The breath is not mystical. It is a physical process that you can direct to change your nervous system and improve focus. When the breath is shallow and fast, attention fragments and stress rises. When the breath is steady and full, the mind becomes clearer and choices become easier. Training this simple process is training in self-command. Begin by feeling the breath without changing it. Sit or stand comfortably and notice the flow of air at your nostrils and the rise and fall of your chest or belly. Observe these sensations as data, not judgment. Awareness alone reduces reactivity because awareness interrupts automatic patterns. Tracking the breath for 1 full minute creates a gap between impulse and response. Use that gap to choose a calm reaction rather than a habitual one. Practice a 4-part breath cycle to build balance. Inhale gently through the nose, counting to 4. Hold the breath softly for a count of 2. Exhale through the nose or mouth for a count of 6. Pause for a count of 2 before the next inhale. Repeat this cycle 5 to 10 times. Extending the exhale signals safety to the nervous system and lowers tension. Counting gives the mind a simple object to follow, so distraction decreases. Use diaphragmatic breathing to engage the body more deeply. Place one hand on the chest and the other on the belly. Breathe so the lower hand rises more than the upper. This pattern supports fuller oxygen exchange and calms the chest muscles that tighten with anxiety. Practice this for 3 minutes twice a day until the body accepts the pattern and shifts without effort. Build focus through breath-anchored attention. Pick a single point of sensation, such as the cool air at the nostrils or the slight vibration at the throat. Keep the attention there, and if thoughts pull away, name them gently and return to the point. Do not fight thoughts or try to erase them. Treat them like passing weather and return to the breath. This training strengthens mental muscle for sustained attention and reduces the mind's tendency to ruminate. Create a short emergency protocol for sudden stress. When something triggers agitation, breathe in for 4 breaths while counting slowly. Then exhale fully and relax the shoulders. Speak a written phrase to yourself, such as "I can handle this" or "I will act with clarity." Use this protocol in meetings, before speaking, or in moments of sharp emotion. Repeating a practiced routine in a stressful moment restores equilibrium faster than trying to reason when emotionally charged. Integrate micro-practices into daily activities. On the commute, focus on the rhythm of 1 inhalation and 1 exhalation for each stoplight, or until the next stretch of road. During a break at work, close your eyes for 30 seconds and breathe with soft attention. Before starting a difficult task, take 5 deep breaths and then begin. Tiny interventions inserted at predictable points create robust habit loops without requiring long time blocks. Train sustained concentration with timed focus sessions anchored to breath. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Begin with 2 minutes of steady breathing awareness, then work on the task while checking in with the breath at 2-minute intervals. If the mind wanders, bring it back without frustration and continue. Gradually extend the timer. The goal is not total absence of thinking, but the ability to notice distraction and return quickly. That ability will increase productivity and reduce mental exhaustion. Use sensory grounding to stop spirals of worry. Name 5 things you can see, 3 things you can touch, 2 sounds you can hear, and 1 thing you can smell. Combine this with slow, deep breaths. Sensory naming redirects cognitive energy to the present moment and makes abstract fears concrete and manageable. This method is especially useful when panic or overwhelm threatens to hijack decision-making. Practice breath counting as mental training. Count each exhale up to 10 and then start again at 1. If attention slips and the count is lost, start from 1 with no self-reproach. This exercise strengthens working memory and cultivates patience. It is simple to do while waiting in line or sitting quietly before sleep. Protect the morning minutes with a breathing ritual. Before checking devices, spend 5 uninterrupted minutes seated with hands relaxed and breathing steady. Use that time to set clear intentions for composure and focus. This small habit creates a calmer baseline for the day and reduces the likelihood of reactive behavior when information floods in. Improve posture to enhance breathing efficiency. Sit with an upright spine, shoulders relaxed and chest open. Slumping compresses the diaphragm and reduces respiratory depth, which then feeds back into low energy and weak focus. Postural correction is a direct investment in clearer thinking and steadier mood. Pair breath practice with short movement to increase effectiveness. Gentle stretches, twist and light bodywork before breathing deepens lung capacity and releases physical tension. A 2-minute routine of shoulder rolls, spine lengthening and slow hip shifts before focused breathing increases comfort and prevents fidgeting during longer sessions. Set a modest daily target that is easily achievable and build from there. Start with 5 minutes of seated breath awareness each morning for 1 week. After that, add 5 minutes in the evening. Once the 2 sessions feel natural, extend one of them by 2 minutes per week. Incremental progression reduces resistance and converts training into a lasting skill rather than a chore. Monitor progress without judgment. Keep a simple log noting the date, minutes practiced, and 1 brief observation, such as felt calmer before a meeting or slept more deeply. This record shows incremental wins and motivates continuation when initial enthusiasm wanes. Use the log not to self-criticize, but to collect evidence of steady improvement. Learn to use breath as a decision support tool. When faced with a tough choice, pause and take 3 deep diaphragmatic breaths. Reassess the options after this short reset. Often the rush to decide comes from fear or social pressure. A breathing pause creates space for values-based thinking and reduces impulsive choices. Teach close family members or coworkers one short breathing technique you trust. Shared practices create safer environments and reduce mutual escalation during conflict. If several people in a household use the same emergency breathing routine, arguments are more likely to pause and productive conversation becomes possible. Avoid overcomplicated practices that create resistance. Simple, consistent breathing techniques carried out reliably are more valuable than advanced methods used sporadically. Consistency builds neurological pathways that deliver results in everyday life, not only in formal meditation sessions. Recognize when professional support is necessary. Breathing can calm and center most people, but persistent high anxiety or panic attacks that impair functioning require guidance from a clinician. Use breath practice as a complementary tool and seek specialized help when symptoms persist despite effort. Practice silence intermittently to deepen focus. Short passages of quiet between tasks remove cognitive clutter. During these pauses, do not consume content. Allow the breath to be the only object of attention. Silence trains the brain to tolerate low stimulation and fosters creative thought. Use the breath to prepare for sleep. 30 minutes before bedtime, reduce screen exposure. Practice slow, counted breathing and let the body follow its natural rhythm. Avoid stimulating caffeine late in the day and practice nasal breathing, which encourages softer airflow and a calmer nervous state at night. Experiment with nasal breathing during moderate activity to increase resilience. Breathing through the nose regulates airflow, warms and filters the air, and often reduces hyperventilation. Start during walking and gradually apply nasal breathing during light exercise until it feels natural. When practicing in group settings, maintain a steady, unhurried pace. Group breathing influence is strong, and a slow, consistent rhythm helps everyone settle. Leading with calm breath supports leadership because composure spreads by example. Keep instruction simple when teaching others. Demonstrate the breath pattern, have them follow for a short span, and ask for feedback about how their body responds. Clear demonstration and brief guided practice build confidence and encourage adoption. Remember that breathing trains character. Regularly returning to the breath develops patience, self-restraint, and measured responses to difficulty. These traits are the foundation of steady happiness because they free the mind from being led by transient impulses. Commit to the practice as a daily responsibility rather than a luxury. Consider these minutes as part of personal maintenance like sleep, nutrition, and hygiene. Consistent care of mental regulation results in clearer priorities, steadier emotions, and more effective action. Practice with curiosity. Notice where tension collects in the body, the shape of your inhale, and the length of your exhale. Curious observation without criticism reveals useful information and guides adjustments. Curiosity prevents harshness and encourages compassionate self-improvement. Use simple cues to remember practice during the day. A wristband, a particular mug, or a notification that reads "breathe" can serve as prompts to pause and connect with the breath. Over time, these cues trigger automatic calm responses without conscious planning. Accept that the mind will rarely be perfectly still. The value of breathing practice is in the return, not the state of silence itself. Each moment you notice distraction and return to the breath is an act of learning. The accumulation of those returns builds mental resilience and increases the capacity for deliberate focus. Practice patience with progress and maintain a steady routine. Over months, consistent breath and focus training produces measurable benefits in clarity of thought, stability of mood, and capacity for calm action. The practice is not magic. It is disciplined attention applied daily with honest purpose. Chapter 40. Choose meaningful goals that align with your true values. Many people feel restless not because they lack ability, but because they are chasing goals that do not belong to them. They pursue what looks impressive, what earns approval, or what others expect. On the surface, they may achieve progress, yet inside they feel empty or constantly pressured. Happiness fades when your effort is directed toward outcomes that conflict with your values. If you want steady fulfillment, your goals must reflect who you truly are and what you genuinely respect. The first step is honesty. Sit quietly with a notebook and ask yourself what truly matters to you. Not what sounds good, not what would impress others, what you deeply respect in other people. Is it integrity, discipline, creativity, service, independence, growth, loyalty, wisdom, stability, courage? Write down the qualities that you admire most. These are clues to your values. Now look at your current goals. Are they aligned with those qualities? If you say you value family, but your goals demand constant absence, there is conflict. If you say you value health but ignore your body daily, there is conflict. If you claim to value learning but spend no time improving your knowledge, there is conflict. Conflict drains joy because your actions do not match your principles. Alignment creates peace. When your goals reflect your values, effort feels meaningful even when progress is slow. You wake up with clarity because you understand why you are working. You are not simply moving forward, you are moving in a direction that fits your identity. To clarify meaningful goals, narrow your focus. Choose no more than 3 major priorities for the next season of your life. Too many goals scatter attention. Concentration builds results. Decide which areas deserve your energy right now. You cannot excel everywhere at once. Accept this limitation with maturity. After selecting your priority areas, define specific outcomes that reflect your values. If you value health, your goal might be to build consistent strength and endurance. If you value growth, your goal might be to master a new skill within 6 months. If you value stability, your goal might be to eliminate debt or build savings. Keep the goals clear and measurable. Vague intentions create vague effort. Once your goals are defined, break them into weekly actions. A meaningful goal without daily structure remains a wish. Ask what actions, if repeated consistently, will move you forward. For example, reading 20 minutes daily supports intellectual growth. Exercising 4 times a week supports physical strength. Saving a fixed amount each week supports financial security. Consistent behaviors create reliable progress. Examine your motivation. Ask why each goal matters. Write the reason beside it. If the reason is external validation, pause and reconsider. External approval fades quickly. If the reason is personal growth or service to others, that motivation is stronger and more durable. Goals rooted in internal conviction sustain effort during difficulty. Accept that meaningful goals often require sacrifice. Time is limited. Energy is limited. You must say no to certain distractions, invitations, and habits. Sacrifice is not punishment, it is focus. When you decline something that does not support your goal, you are protecting your future self. This protection builds self-respect. Review your environment. Does it support your values and goals? If you aim to improve your focus but constantly surround yourself with noise and distraction, you create resistance. Adjust your surroundings. Remove unnecessary triggers. Create physical spaces that encourage concentration, reflection, and discipline. Environment shapes behavior more than willpower alone. Track progress regularly. Set a weekly review time. Reflect on what actions you completed and where you fell short. Evaluate calmly without self-attack. If progress slows, adjust your strategy instead of abandoning the goal. Sustainable growth requires adaptation. Be cautious of goals driven by comparison. Comparing yourself to others can distort your direction. Another person's path may not fit your life. Their strengths, circumstances, and values differ from yours. Stay anchored in your own priorities. Measure yourself against your previous performance, not someone else's highlight. Meaningful goals should stretch you but not break you. If a goal causes constant anxiety and damages your health or relationships, reassess it. Challenge is necessary for growth, but constant strain signals imbalance. Discipline includes knowing when to adjust expectations to protect long-term well-being. Consider the long-term consequences of your goals. Imagine yourself 5 or 10 years from now. If you achieve what you are pursuing today, will you respect the person you become? Will your relationships remain strong? Will your health remain stable? Will your character improve? Long-term thinking protects you from short-sighted ambition. Avoid chasing too many achievements at once. Focused effort creates depth. Depth creates mastery. Mastery creates confidence. Spreading yourself thin produces mediocrity and frustration. Choose depth over noise. Recognize that meaningful goals often involve contribution. When your effort benefits others, fulfillment deepens. This does not mean neglecting personal advancement. It means understanding that growth and service can coexist. A goal that improves your skill while helping others carries greater purpose. Build routines around your goals. Discipline is easier when actions become habitual. Schedule specific times for work related to your priorities. Protect those times. Treat them as commitments. Consistency removes internal debate and conserves mental energy. Expect obstacles. Challenges do not mean the goal is wrong. They test your commitment. When setbacks occur, return to your values. Ask whether the goal still reflects who you want to become. If it does, continue with adjusted strategy. If it does not, revise with clarity. Practice patience. Meaningful achievements rarely happen quickly. Progress may feel slow. Resist the urge to abandon the process for something easier or more exciting. Steady effort compounds over months and years. Impatience interrupts momentum. Learn to celebrate milestones. Acknowledge improvement without becoming complacent. Recognition strengthens motivation. It reminds you that disciplined action produces results. Guard your mental energy. Limit exposure to negativity that undermines your focus. Surround yourself with people who respect growth and integrity. Influence matters. If those around you constantly chase shallow goals, their mindset may weaken your resolve. Stay flexible. Life changes. Responsibilities shift. New information emerges. Revisit your goals periodically and confirm alignment with your evolving values. Growth may refine your priorities. That is healthy. Clarity deepens over time. Understand that true success is internal first. External markers may fluctuate. Income can rise and fall. Status can change. Approval can disappear. If your goals build character, resilience, skill, and integrity, you remain stable regardless of external shifts. Take ownership of your path. Do not blame circumstances for inaction. Even in difficult conditions, there is always some progress you can make. It may be small, but it counts. Ownership restores power. Each morning, remind yourself of your primary objective. Visualize the type of person you are becoming through this pursuit. Let that image guide your behavior. When temptation appears, measure it against your values. Choose in favor of your future self. Choosing meaningful goals is an act of courage. It requires rejecting expectations that do not fit you. It demands discipline to stay committed. It calls for self-examination and honesty. Yet the reward is profound. When your daily actions reflect your deepest principles, satisfaction grows naturally. Happiness does not come from chasing everything. It comes from choosing wisely and acting steadily. Align your goals with your true values. Break them into clear steps. Review them regularly. Protect them with discipline. In doing so, you build a life that feels coherent and purposeful. Effort becomes meaningful. Progress becomes personal. And fulfillment becomes a daily experience grounded in integrity. Chapter 50. Build resilient thinking to face setbacks without losing hope. Setbacks are not interruptions of life. They are part of it. Plans fail. People disappoint you. Effort does not always produce immediate reward. Health fluctuates. Opportunities close without warning. If your happiness depends on smooth conditions, it will collapse often. To remain steady, you must build resilient thinking. Resilience is not denial of difficulty. It is the ability to interpret difficulty in a way that preserves strength and direction. Your thoughts shape your emotional response long before external events do. Two people can face the same problem and react in completely different ways. One sees defeat and withdraws. The other sees instruction and adapts. The difference is perspective. Resilient thinking begins with choosing how you explain events to yourself. When something goes wrong, pause before creating a story. The mind tends to exaggerate. A single mistake becomes proof of total failure. A rejection becomes a statement about personal worth. This is distortion. Train yourself to describe the event in neutral terms. Instead of saying everything is ruined, state what actually happened. The project was rejected. The plan did not work. The conversation did not go well. Clear description reduces emotional intensity and creates space for analysis. Separate the event from your identity. Failing at a task does not mean you are a failure. Making a poor decision does not mean you lack intelligence. Resilient thinkers protect their identity while correcting their behavior. They say this action needs improvement rather than I am not good enough. This distinction preserves confidence. Take responsibility without self-attack. Ask what you could have done differently. Identify 1 or 2 changes you will apply next time. Responsibility gives you control. Blame traps you in helplessness. Focus on what you can influence now. Even in situations largely outside your control, there is usually some adjustment you can make in your approach, preparation, or response. Expect difficulty. Many people lose hope because they assume progress should be smooth. When obstacles appear, they feel shocked and discouraged. Anticipate challenges from the beginning. When you pursue meaningful goals, resistance will appear. Knowing this prevents emotional collapse. You will see obstacles as part of the process rather than evidence that you should quit. Strengthen your inner dialogue. Notice the language you use during hard moments. If you say, "I cannot handle this," your body tightens and your focus narrows. Replace that phrase with, "I will take this step by step." Simple changes in wording influence emotional state. Speak to yourself as a calm mentor would. Firm but supportive. Control your focus during setbacks. The mind often replays negative events repeatedly, amplifying frustration. Interrupt this pattern by directing attention toward solutions. Ask what the next constructive action is. Even a small step restores momentum. Action weakens despair. Limit exposure to influences that increase pessimism. Constant negativity from media or people around you can distort perception. Protect your mental environment during vulnerable periods. Seek conversations that emphasize growth and learning. Read material that strengthens perspective. Influence shapes resilience. Learn from past recoveries. Reflect on previous difficulties you overcame. Recall how you felt at the time and how circumstances eventually shifted. This memory proves that pain is often temporary. Reminding yourself of past strength builds current confidence. Develop patience. Recovery from setbacks takes time. Emotional wounds do not disappear instantly. Allow yourself space to process disappointment without rushing into forced positivity. Resilience includes accepting temporary discomfort while maintaining commitment to long-term progress. Maintain physical discipline during tough periods. Continue exercising, sleeping adequately, and eating with care. Physical stability supports mental strength. Neglecting the body intensifies emotional strain. Consistency in simple routines provides structure when other areas feel unstable. Avoid comparing your struggles to someone else's visible success. Every person faces unseen challenges. Comparison during hardship magnifies discouragement. Focus on your path and your growth. Your journey is unique. Ask constructive questions. Instead of asking why this always happens to me, ask what this situation is teaching me. Instead of asking why I failed, ask how I can improve. Questions direct attention. Choose questions that encourage growth. Understand that rejection and criticism are not personal attacks on your worth. Often they reflect different preferences, circumstances, or timing. Extract useful feedback and discard the rest. Not every opinion deserves influence over your confidence. Build emotional endurance gradually. Take on challenges intentionally. Volunteer for tasks that stretch your ability. Practice handling minor discomforts without complaint. These small exposures prepare you for larger trials. Strength grows through use. Create a written resilience plan. Outline how you will respond when setbacks occur. Include steps such as pausing before reacting, reviewing facts objectively, identifying one lesson, and taking one corrective action. Having a plan reduces panic because you know what to do. Forgive yourself quickly. Holding on to guilt drains energy needed for improvement. Acknowledge mistakes honestly, make amends if necessary, and move forward. Lingering self-criticism does not repair damage. Responsible correction does. Surround yourself with at least one person who values honesty and growth. Share challenges openly. Sometimes speaking your thoughts out loud reduces their weight. Constructive dialogue brings clarity and prevents isolation. Remember that hope is not blind optimism. It is disciplined expectation that effort matters. Even when outcomes are uncertain, effort still builds skill and character. This understanding keeps motivation alive during slow progress. Protect your long-term vision. A temporary setback can obscure your broader purpose. Revisit your core goals. Remind yourself why you started. When purpose remains clear, temporary obstacles lose their power to derail you. Develop gratitude even during difficulty. Identify aspects of your life that remain stable. Health, supportive relationships, lessons learned. Gratitude does not deny hardship. It balances perspective and prevents total despair. Accept that some events are outside your control. Illness, economic shifts, other people's decisions. Resilient thinking includes surrendering what you cannot change while fully engaging with what you can. This balance preserves energy. Use structured reflection after each setback. Write what happened, what you felt, what you learned, and what you will adjust. Writing organizes thoughts and prevents emotional chaos from dominating your reasoning. Resilience grows over time. Each challenge handled with composure strengthens future response. You become less fragile. You recover faster. You trust your capacity to endure. Do not measure your strength by the absence of emotion. Feeling disappointment or sadness does not mean weakness. Strength is shown in what you do next. It is shown in choosing constructive action despite discomfort. Stay committed to daily discipline even when results are delayed. Progress is not always visible immediately. Seeds planted today may not show growth for weeks. Continue watering them through consistent effort. When you face a setback, remember that quitting guarantees permanent failure, while persistence keeps possibility alive. You may need to adjust direction or strategy, but do not abandon growth entirely because of temporary defeat. Resilient thinking is a practice. It requires awareness, discipline, and repetition. Each time you interpret difficulty with balance rather than panic, you reinforce mental strength. Each time you choose action over despair, you build confidence. Happiness every day does not require a life free of problems. It requires a mind trained to face problems without losing direction. Build that mind intentionally. Guard your thoughts. Focus on solutions. Maintain discipline. Over time, setbacks will no longer threaten your hope. They will refine it. Chapter 6. Master emotional regulation to respond, not react under pressure. Pressure reveals the quality of your inner discipline. Anyone can remain calm when conditions are comfortable. The real test appears when deadlines tighten, criticism stings, tempers rise, or unexpected problems demand immediate action. In those moments, many people surrender control to emotion. Words are spoken that cannot be taken back. Decisions are made that create regret. Relationships are strained. Opportunities are damaged. If you want stable happiness and lasting success, you must master emotional regulation. You must learn to respond with intention rather than react from impulse. Emotions themselves are not enemies. They carry information. Anger may signal a boundary crossed. Fear may highlight risk. Sadness may reflect loss. The problem is not feeling. The problem is allowing emotion to take command without reflection. Emotional regulation is the skill of acknowledging what you feel while choosing how you act. The first step is awareness. You cannot regulate what you do not notice. Train yourself to recognize early physical signs of emotional activation. Tightness in the chest, heat in the face, rapid heartbeat, clenched jaw, shallow breathing. These signals appear before you speak or move. They are warnings. When you detect them early, you gain leverage. Create a rule for yourself. When strong emotion rises, pause before responding. Even a few seconds can prevent damage. In conversations, slow your speech. If needed, ask for a moment to think. In written communication, avoid replying immediately when upset. Draft your response and review it later with a calmer mind. This small discipline protects your reputation and relationships. Label your emotion accurately. Instead of saying "I am furious," refine it. Are you disappointed, embarrassed, frustrated, or feeling disrespected? Precise language reduces intensity. The brain responds differently when emotions are clearly identified. Clarity creates distance. Distance restores control. Separate the event from your interpretation. Someone may disagree with you. That fact alone is neutral. Your interpretation may turn it into a personal attack. Ask yourself whether the situation truly threatens your values or whether your pride is reacting. Honest examination prevents unnecessary escalation. Practice controlled breathing under pressure. Slow the exhale and relax your shoulders. This signals the body to reduce stress response. A calmer body supports clearer thinking. You cannot expect rational decisions from a system flooded with tension. Establish personal standards for behavior during conflict. Decide in advance that you will not raise your voice unnecessarily. Decide that you will not insult or belittle. Decide that you will not interrupt aggressively. Pre-commitment reduces impulsive behavior. When emotions surge, your standards guide you. Understand that reacting may feel powerful in the moment, but often produces weakness later. Responding with composure may feel restrained at first, but builds respect over time. Long-term influence is built on steadiness. If someone speaks harshly, resist mirroring their tone. Calm responses often de-escalate tension. Speak slowly. Maintain steady eye contact. Use simple direct language. Avoid sarcasm. When you control your behavior, you influence the emotional temperature of the interaction. Examine your triggers. Notice patterns in situations that provoke strong reactions. Perhaps criticism from authority unsettles you. Perhaps being ignored triggers frustration. Awareness allows preparation. You can mentally rehearse calm responses before similar situations occur again. Develop emotional endurance through small daily practice. When minor irritations arise, treat them as training opportunities. If traffic delays you, practice patience instead of complaint. If a plan changes, adjust calmly. These small exercises strengthen your ability to remain steady during larger pressures. Avoid suppressing emotions entirely. Suppression builds internal tension that may explode later. Instead, process emotions privately with honesty. Write down what you feel and why. Reflect on whether the reaction aligns with your values. This reflection transforms raw emotion into structured understanding. Guard your energy. Lack of sleep, poor nutrition, and constant distraction weaken emotional control. Physical exhaustion lowers tolerance. Protect your body to protect your reactions. Strong regulation requires a stable foundation. Learn to ask clarifying questions instead of assuming negative intent. If someone's comment feels offensive, ask what they meant before reacting. Misunderstandings are common. Clarification prevents unnecessary conflict. Accept that you cannot control other people's emotions. You can only manage your own. If someone chooses anger, you are not obligated to match it. Emotional independence is strength. It means your mood is not controlled by external behavior. Practice delayed judgment. When receiving criticism, do not instantly defend yourself. Listen fully. Consider whether there is truth within it. Even imperfect feedback may contain useful insight. Defensive reactions block growth. Create recovery rituals after intense situations. Take a short walk. Reflect quietly. Write down what happened and how you handled it. Evaluate whether your response aligned with your standards. If not, plan improvement. Continuous refinement builds mastery. Avoid using emotion as justification for harmful behavior. Saying "I was angry" does not erase consequences. Take responsibility for your actions regardless of your mood. Accountability strengthens character. Develop mental scripts for high-pressure scenarios. For example, if confronted publicly, remind yourself to breathe slowly and speak clearly. If facing unexpected criticism, remind yourself to listen fully before responding. Prepared phrases support composure when thinking feels clouded. Recognize that silence can be powerful. You do not need to respond to every provocation. Sometimes restraint communicates more strength than argument. Choosing silence strategically prevents unnecessary escalation. Cultivate empathy. Consider the pressures others may be experiencing. Understanding does not excuse poor behavior, but it reduces hostility. Empathy broadens perspective and lowers reactive intensity. Avoid catastrophic thinking during pressure. A mistake at work does not mean career collapse. A disagreement does not mean relationship failure. Keep the scale of events realistic. Overreaction often stems from exaggerated interpretation. Train yourself to evaluate consequences before speaking. Ask whether your response will solve the problem or deepen it. This brief mental check redirects impulse towards strategy. Accept discomfort. Emotional regulation does not eliminate stress. It teaches you to function effectively despite it. The goal is not constant calm, but controlled action. Build confidence through consistent practice. Each time you navigate pressure with composure, you reinforce your ability. Over time, you trust yourself more. That trust reduces fear of future challenges. Understand that respect from others grows when they see steadiness in you. Leaders who remain calm during difficulty inspire confidence. Friends who listen carefully during conflict build trust. Emotional discipline enhances influence. When you fail to regulate effectively, correct yourself quickly. Apologize if necessary. Reflect on the trigger and adjust your strategy. Improvement is more important than perfection. Make emotional regulation part of your identity. See yourself as someone who thinks before acting, someone who values dignity over dominance, someone who chooses clarity over chaos. Pressure will always exist. Life will not become free of challenges, but your reaction to those challenges can change. With practice, awareness, and commitment, you can shift from reactive patterns to intentional responses. This shift protects your peace, strengthens your relationships, and supports your long-term success. Happiness every day does not require easy circumstances. It requires mastery over yourself. When you respond instead of react, you preserve your energy, your reputation, and your direction. That control is freedom. That freedom sustains steady inner satisfaction even when the world around you feels uncertain. Chapter 70. Create a daily gratitude practice that rewires your brain. Gratitude is not a temporary feeling you express only when life is comfortable. It is a deliberate mental practice that teaches your brain to search for goodness even during ordinary or difficult moments. Many people wait to feel thankful before they practice gratitude. This approach limits emotional growth because feelings follow attention. If you train your attention to notice positive aspects of life, your emotional state gradually adjusts to that pattern. Daily gratitude practice is not about pretending life is perfect. It is about recognizing that life contains value even when challenges exist. Begin your gratitude practice by choosing a fixed time each day. Consistency matters more than duration. Early morning or before sleep are common choices because the mind is quieter. Sit in a comfortable position and remove unnecessary distractions. Put your phone away. Close unrelated tasks. Give your mind permission to slow down. Write down 3 things you appreciate today. Do not repeat the same items every day. Challenge yourself to find new details. You can be grateful for simple experiences such as sunlight entering your room, a supportive conversation, a healthy meal, or the ability to learn something new. Specific gratitude strengthens neural pathways associated with positive emotional processing. Explain each gratitude item briefly in writing. For example, instead of writing family, write I am grateful for my family because they support me even when I am imperfect. This explanation deepens emotional connection. Surface level gratitude has limited psychological effect. Meaningful reflection produces stronger cognitive reinforcement. Focus on experiences rather than possessions alone. Material objects can bring comfort, but experiences build memory and emotional richness. You may express gratitude for meaningful work, peaceful moments, understanding people, or opportunities to grow. Expanding gratitude beyond ownership reduces anxiety linked to comparison and consumption. Speak your gratitude silently or aloud if privacy allows. The brain responds strongly when thoughts are expressed through speech. Hearing your own voice express appreciation strengthens emotional encoding. Speak slowly and feel the meaning of each statement rather than rushing through it. Observe how gratitude affects your mood after several days of practice. You may notice increased calmness, improved patience, or reduced sensitivity to minor frustrations. These changes occur because gratitude shifts the brain's attention from threat detection toward positive recognition. Neuroscience research suggests that consistent appreciation exercises may influence neural plasticity associated with emotional regulation. Avoid turning gratitude into mechanical routine without awareness. If you simply write words without thinking, the practice loses effectiveness. Pause briefly after writing each item. Imagine the experience you are appreciating. Recall the feeling associated with it. This mental visualization enhances emotional impact. Include gratitude for personal strength. Acknowledge your ability to continue trying despite difficulties. Recognize discipline, learning effort, and moments when you chose patience over anger. Self-directed gratitude supports self-respect and reduces inner criticism. Practice gratitude during stressful days even more carefully. When problems arise, identify at least one positive aspect within the situation. Perhaps you learned something new, avoided a worse outcome, or gained clarity about what needs improvement. This does not deny difficulty. It prevents despair from dominating perspective. Rotate gratitude themes weekly. 1 week focus on people who influenced your life positively. Another week focus on physical health and body function. Another week focus on learning experiences. Another week focus on environmental comfort such as home, safety, or access to resources. Rotation prevents stagnation and encourages deeper observation. Track emotional changes over time. Keep a simple record of your mood before and after gratitude practice. Do not judge the numbers. Simply observe patterns. Many people discover that consistent gratitude practice reduces emotional volatility and improves sleep quality. Practice gratitude in conversation. Express appreciation directly to people who help you. A simple, sincere thank you can strengthen social bonds. Do not overcomplicate the expression. Honest appreciation delivered with eye contact carries strong emotional meaning. Avoid comparing your life to others while practicing gratitude. Comparison and gratitude cannot coexist in the same moment. When comparison enters, pause and redirect attention toward your own positive experiences. Your brain learns what to prioritize through repetition. Gratitude also helps control impulsive dissatisfaction. When you feel the urge to complain about something small, replace complaint with one positive observation. This habit weakens automatic negativity responses. Do not force yourself to feel happiness during gratitude practice. Emotional state may vary. The purpose is awareness and recognition, not emotional performance. Some days you may feel neutral. That is acceptable. Consistency matters more than intensity. Connect gratitude with your long-term vision. Appreciate the progress you are making toward becoming a better version of yourself. Recognize small improvements in thinking, behavior, or discipline. Growth appreciation strengthens motivation. Use gratitude before sleep as a mental closure ritual. Review the day slowly and select 3 positive moments, regardless of their size. This practice reduces rumination because the mind ends the day by searching for positive meaning rather than replaying problems. Be honest in gratitude. Do not invent false positivity. Authentic appreciation is more powerful than forced optimism. If the day was difficult, you can still express gratitude for survival, learning, or endurance. Share gratitude occasionally with others. Writing a short message expressing appreciation can improve relationships and create emotional warmth. Positive communication strengthens social stability. Understand that gratitude rewires attention patterns. Humans naturally focus on potential threats. This survival mechanism is useful but can lead to chronic dissatisfaction. Gratitude training balances this tendency by teaching the brain to recognize safety, opportunity, and goodness. Continue gratitude practice even when life improves. Some people abandon gratitude when they achieve comfort. This creates emotional instability because the brain loses its training. Gratitude should remain a lifelong habit. View gratitude as intellectual discipline rather than emotional luxury. It is a method of directing consciousness toward constructive observation. Through repetition, the brain becomes more skilled at finding value in ordinary life. Expect gradual transformation rather than sudden emotional change. The impact of gratitude compounds quietly. You may not notice improvement in a single day, but over months your mindset becomes more stable. When negative thoughts arise, do not fight them aggressively. Acknowledge them briefly and then choose a gratitude observation. This method reduces internal conflict and supports emotional balance. Make gratitude practice personal. Do not imitate someone else's style exactly. Choose expressions and reflections that feel natural to your thinking pattern. Remember that gratitude does not eliminate hardship. It teaches you to stand inside hardship with a broader perspective. You remain aware of challenges while also recognizing life's existing value. Daily gratitude practice strengthens psychological resilience, improves emotional regulation, and supports long-term happiness. It trains the brain to search for meaning rather than deficiency. When gratitude becomes a natural habit, life feels less burdened by comparison and more enriched by appreciation. Happiness then emerges not from perfect circumstances, but from a mind that consistently chooses to recognize good in ordinary days. Chapter 8. Strengthen relationships by giving time, attention, and honest support. Human happiness is deeply connected to the quality of relationships you maintain. Success, wealth, and personal achievement lose meaning if you cannot share them with people who genuinely matter to you. Relationships are not sustained by grand gestures alone. They grow through steady attention, presence, and sincere support over time. Many people believe relationships survive automatically once formed. In reality, relationships require continuous emotional investment. Giving time is the most valuable form of communication you can offer to another person. Time signals priority. When you spend time listening without rushing, you tell someone that their thoughts and feelings have significance. Turn your attention fully toward the person speaking. Avoid checking devices or mentally preparing your response while they are talking. Listen to understand rather than to answer immediately. Ask meaningful questions during conversations. Instead of focusing only on surface topics, explore how the other person feels about events in their life. Questions such as what has been challenging lately or what has brought you peace recently open deeper emotional connection. People feel valued when someone shows genuine curiosity about their inner world. Learn to recognize emotional needs that are not spoken directly. Some individuals express stress through silence, withdrawal, or short responses. Instead of forcing conversation, offer gentle presence. Sitting quietly beside someone during difficult moments can communicate support more effectively than speaking. Support others without expecting immediate return. Honest relationships are not transactions. If you help someone only because you expect something back, emotional trust becomes fragile. Give because you value the person, not because you are calculating future benefit. True support strengthens bonds and builds long-term stability. Express appreciation openly. People often doubt their value even when they are respected. Simple words acknowledging their positive qualities can strengthen confidence and emotional security. Speak sincerely and avoid exaggerated praise. Authentic appreciation carries deeper influence than dramatic compliments. Respect personal boundaries. Healthy relationships require space as well as closeness. Understand that every person has moments when they need solitude or independent reflection. Do not interpret temporary distance as rejection. Patience during these periods preserves harmony. Practice patience during disagreements. Conflict does not automatically damage relationships if handled respectfully. When disagreement occurs, lower your voice and focus on the problem rather than the person. Use language that separates behavior from identity. Discuss what happened instead of attacking character. Admit mistakes quickly if you are responsible. Pride can silently damage trust. Saying I was wrong or I should have handled that differently shows maturity and emotional strength. Apology is not weakness. It is leadership in personal integrity. Avoid bringing past arguments into new conversations. Reopening old conflicts repeatedly prevents healing. If a problem has been resolved, allow it to remain closed. Continuous reference to past mistakes builds resentment. Support others during their success as well as during their struggles. Some relationships weaken because people feel uncomfortable when someone close achieves progress. Genuine support includes celebrating achievements sincerely. Happiness shared between people multiplies emotional satisfaction. Spend quality time without pressure for performance. You do not need expensive activities to build strong relationships. Simple shared experiences such as walking together, talking calmly, or eating a meal without distraction can create strong emotional memory. Be reliable in small promises. If you say you will call, call. If you promise to help, follow through. Consistency in small commitments builds trust faster than occasional large gestures. Observe emotional changes in people close to you. If someone seems tired, stressed, or distant, show concern gently. A simple question about their well-being can open communication channels. Avoid trying to control the emotions or decisions of others. Respect personal independence. Influence through understanding rather than pressure. People respond more positively to kindness and patience than to coercion. Learn to forgive small mistakes quickly. Holding on to minor offenses creates invisible emotional walls. Forgiveness does not mean ignoring harm. It means releasing unnecessary emotional weight once understanding is reached. Share your own thoughts honestly when appropriate. Relationships cannot grow if communication is one-sided. Express your feelings respectfully without blaming language. Use statements that begin with "I feel" rather than "you always." Maintain contact with important people even when life becomes busy. A short message showing you are thinking about someone can preserve connection. Distance does not have to weaken emotional ties if communication continues. Respect differences in personality and perspective. Not everyone processes information or expresses emotion the same way. Adapt your communication style when possible without losing your own values. Show gratitude to people who support your life. Many individuals quietly contribute to your stability without seeking recognition. Acknowledging them strengthens emotional bonds and encourages continued positive interaction. Avoid using silence as punishment during conflict. Purposeful silence for reflection is healthy. Silence intended to hurt another person damages trust. Practice empathy by imagining how situations appear from another person's viewpoint. This mental exercise reduces misunderstanding and encourages compassionate response. Spend time helping others grow when possible. Teaching a skill, sharing useful knowledge, or offering constructive advice builds meaningful connection. Growth shared between people strengthens relationship depth. Recognize that relationships evolve. People change over time due to experience and circumstance. Accept natural change without forcing old versions of connection to remain unchanged. Protect relationships from unnecessary external pressure. Social comparison, gossip, and negative influence can weaken trust. Choose carefully what influences enter your relationship space. Express love and respect through actions as well as words. Small, consistent behaviors often communicate emotional commitment more effectively than occasional dramatic expression. Be honest when you cannot help someone. Overpromising creates disappointment. Saying "I cannot assist with this, but I care about your situation" preserves integrity. Listen without interrupting. Let others complete their thoughts before responding. Interruption signals that your perspective is more important than theirs. Build emotional safety. People should feel comfortable sharing concerns with you without fear of judgment or ridicule. Safety encourages openness. Understand that strong relationships require maintenance. Like any valuable structure, emotional connections need regular care. Invest time intentionally in the people who matter most. Life moves quickly, and opportunities to connect can be lost if ignored. Do not wait for special occasions to show care. Relationships built on attention, honesty, patience, and support create emotional stability. When you consistently give time, listen carefully, offer sincere help, and respect individuality, relationships become a source of strength rather than stress. Happiness every day becomes easier when you are surrounded by meaningful connection. Human life is not meant to be lived in isolation. Emotional warmth shared with others reduces loneliness and strengthens purpose. Choose to nurture your relationships with patience, presence, and genuine concern. Over time, these choices will return to you as trust, comfort, and quiet inner joy. Chapter 90. Simplify your schedule to protect energy and reduce stress. Many people feel exhausted not because their lives are truly overwhelming, but because their schedules are filled with unnecessary complexity. Modern life encourages constant activity. People believe that being busy is the same as being productive. This belief creates silent pressure inside the mind. When your day contains too many tasks that do not contribute meaningfully to your purpose, your energy slowly drains. Simplifying your schedule is not laziness. It is strategic protection of mental and emotional strength. Begin by identifying activities that truly matter. Look at your daily tasks and ask which ones directly support your long-term priorities. Some tasks are only habits formed without reflection. Others are obligations that no longer serve your growth. Remove or reduce activities that consume time but produce little improvement in your life. Elimination is often more powerful than addition. Learn to distinguish between urgent and important work. Urgent tasks demand immediate attention, but they are not always valuable in the long run. Important tasks contribute to your future stability, skill development, or meaningful relationships. Give priority to important work even when it is not urgent. This habit builds progress that may not be visible immediately, but becomes powerful over time. Create blocks of focused time rather than scattered activity throughout the day. For example, dedicate a period for learning, a period for work responsibility, and a period for personal reflection. Avoid switching between unrelated tasks every few minutes. Frequent switching forces the brain to restart focus repeatedly, which increases mental fatigue. Limit unnecessary meetings or conversations that do not produce constructive results. Some discussions repeat the same information without moving toward decision or solution. Respect your time by participating only when your presence contributes value. Polite boundaries protect your energy without damaging professionalism or relationships. Reduce digital distraction intentionally. Many people carry their schedule inside their devices, but also allow their devices to interrupt concentration constantly. Turn off non-essential notifications. Check messages at designated times rather than responding immediately to every alert. This simple rule prevents your attention from being fragmented throughout the day. Practice the discipline of saying no respectfully. Not every request deserves acceptance. When you agree to everything, your schedule becomes crowded with obligations that do not belong to your personal priorities. Saying no is not rejection of people. It is protection of your ability to perform well in what truly matters. Keep your daily plan realistic. Some individuals create long lists of tasks that cannot be completed within available time and then feel disappointed when they fail. Instead, select a smaller number of high-impact actions each day. Completing a few meaningful tasks produces greater satisfaction than partially finishing many. Wake up each morning knowing the 3 most important things you want to accomplish. Do not overload the start of your day with uncertainty. Clear direction reduces anxiety because the mind does not waste energy deciding what to do next. Remove clutter from your physical environment. Excess objects around your workspace can unconsciously distract your attention. Organize tools, documents, and materials so that only necessary items remain visible. Visual simplicity supports mental clarity. Respect natural energy cycles of your body. Pay attention to when you feel most alert and schedule demanding tasks during that period. Some people think they must work equally hard at all hours. This is not efficient. Working with your biological rhythm improves performance and reduces exhaustion. Schedule regular short breaks. Continuous work without pause often reduces quality and increases stress. During a break, stand, stretch, breathe slowly, or walk briefly. Do not use break time for consuming stressful information. Let your mind rest. Simplify decision-making whenever possible. Too many choices consume mental energy. Prepare simple routines for daily life such as meal planning, clothing selection, or work preparation. Reducing small daily decisions preserves cognitive resources for important thinking. Do not measure productivity by how busy you appear. Productivity should be measured by meaningful progress. Some people fill their schedule with visible activity, but accomplish little that improves their future. Protect evening hours for recovery. Your mind needs distance from work pressure before sleep. Avoid intense problem-solving or emotional confrontation late at night. Use evening time for calming activities such as light reading, reflection, or peaceful conversation. Review your commitments periodically. Some obligations were necessary in the past but may not be necessary now. Life changes. Responsibilities should also change accordingly. Let go of outdated burdens respectfully. Avoid perfectionism that prolongs tasks unnecessarily. Sometimes completing work at good quality is better than endlessly refining it. Perfectionism can hide fear of completion. Learn to recognize when improvement becomes excessive. Group similar tasks together. For example, handle communication tasks during one period rather than interrupting work repeatedly. Batch processing reduces context switching and increases efficiency. Prepare the next day's basic plan before sleeping. This reduces morning uncertainty and helps your mind relax because it knows what direction to follow when you wake. Guard your energy as if it is a valuable resource. Energy determines how well you think, act, and interact. If your schedule is overloaded, even good intentions become ineffective. Remember that simplification is not reduction of life's meaning, it is removal of unnecessary noise so important experiences can be felt more deeply. Practice living with fewer but more meaningful commitments. Focus on quality of attention rather than quantity of activity. When your schedule is simple, your mind becomes calmer, your decisions become clearer, and your emotional stability improves. Over time, a simplified schedule produces quiet confidence. You know what to do, when to do it, and why you are doing it. Uncertainty decreases, stress decreases, internal peace increases. Happiness every day becomes easier when life is not crowded with unnecessary complexity. Choose carefully where your time goes. Protect your attention. Focus on what truly matters. A simple life is not a limited life. It is a focused life built around purpose, energy preservation, and meaningful action. When your schedule supports your values rather than competing with them, you experience deeper stability and sustained inner satisfaction. Chapter 10a. Live with purpose and serve others to deepen happiness. Living with purpose means understanding that your existence carries meaning beyond personal comfort and immediate pleasure. Many people search for happiness by trying to accumulate experiences only for themselves. They pursue entertainment, comfort, or achievement without considering how their life influences others. Over time, this approach creates emotional emptiness because human fulfillment is strongly connected to contribution. When your actions improve the world around you, your heart experiences deeper satisfaction. Purpose does not have to be grand or visible to society. Purpose is found in how you treat people, how you perform your responsibilities, and how you use your abilities. You do not need to wait for a heroic opportunity to live meaningfully. Purpose exists in ordinary moments when you choose to act with integrity and kindness. The smallest helpful action can carry significant emotional weight when performed sincerely. Begin by asking one important question each morning. How can my life be useful today? This question shifts attention away from self-centered thinking and directs your mind toward contribution. The answer does not need to be complicated. It may be helping someone solve a problem, completing your work carefully, speaking respectfully, or offering encouragement to someone who feels discouraged. Serving others is not about sacrificing your own well-being. Healthy service means maintaining personal strength while offering support. If you become exhausted trying to help everyone without boundaries, your ability to serve will decline. True service comes from a stable foundation of physical, emotional, and mental balance. Protect your health so you can continue contributing over the long term. Pay attention to the needs of people around you. Many individuals carry silent struggles that are not openly expressed. Sometimes they need listening rather than advice. Sometimes they need patience rather than solutions. Observe body language, tone of voice, and emotional atmosphere during interactions. Compassion begins with awareness. Use your talents to help others improve their lives. Everyone possesses unique abilities. Some people communicate well, others organize information efficiently, some solve technical problems, and others provide emotional comfort. Your natural strengths are tools for service. Develop them and use them responsibly. Do not measure your purpose only through financial or social recognition. External rewards may fluctuate. Purpose should be anchored in values such as kindness, honesty, contribution, and personal growth. When purpose depends only on external validation, emotional stability becomes fragile. Practice generosity in small ways. Share knowledge freely when it can help someone learn. Offer guidance when you have experience that may prevent another person's difficulty. Give your time when you can genuinely listen. Generosity strengthens social bonds and increases your own sense of meaning. Understand that helping others can also improve your own happiness. When you contribute positively to someone's life, your brain experiences emotional reward. This reward is not selfish pleasure. It is a natural psychological response to meaningful connection and cooperation. Avoid expecting immediate gratitude when you serve others. Some people may not express appreciation openly. Continue helping because it reflects your character, not because you seek praise. Emotional maturity includes serving without constant recognition. Create a personal mission statement describing the type of impact you want to make during your lifetime. Write it in simple language. For example, you may want to become someone who helps others think clearly, supports family stability, or contributes knowledge that improves society. Read this statement occasionally to remind yourself why your actions matter. Integrate purpose into daily work. Even if your job is routine, perform it with careful attention. Quality work is a form of service. When you work responsibly, you benefit others who depend on your effort. This mindset transforms ordinary tasks into meaningful contribution. Show kindness to strangers. Small, respectful behavior toward people you do not know strengthens social harmony. Simple gestures, such as polite communication, patience in public spaces, or helping someone carry something, can spread positive influence. Share emotional warmth with people close to you. Purpose includes strengthening the lives of family and friends. Spend meaningful time with them. Listen to their experiences. Offer encouragement during challenges. These relationships are important sources of long-term happiness. Recognize that serving others also includes teaching independence. Do not create dependency by solving every problem for someone else. Sometimes the most helpful action is guiding a person so they can develop their own strength. Stay humble while pursuing purpose. Pride can silently weaken motivation to serve. Remember that your abilities are opportunities to help rather than reasons for superiority. Reflect regularly on whether your daily activities align with your purpose. If your actions drift away from meaningful contribution, adjust your behavior. Life direction should be periodically reviewed. Be patient with the process of finding deeper purpose. Some people expect instant clarity about life meaning. Purpose often unfolds gradually through experience, learning, and interaction with others. Learn to find joy in the success of others. When someone you helped achieves progress, celebrate quietly. Their improvement is also a reflection of shared human growth. Protect your purpose from negative influence. Some environments promote selfish competition or discouragement. Choose surroundings that encourage positive development and ethical behavior. Accept that you cannot help everyone. Attempting to solve all problems in the world leads to frustration. Focus on the people and areas where your contribution is realistic and effective. Remember that purpose is not only about big achievements but also about consistent character. A person who speaks honestly, works responsibly, and treats others kindly is already living purposefully. Live each day asking how your presence improved someone's life, even slightly. If the answer is positive, you are moving in the right direction. Service creates meaning because human beings are naturally connected. When you contribute to others, you participate in a larger story of shared existence. Happiness becomes deeper because it is not built only on personal pleasure but also on positive influence. At the end of each day, reflect briefly on one way you served others. It may be small, such as helping, listening, encouraging, or working diligently. Do not judge the size of the contribution. Focus on the intention and consistency. Purpose-driven living transforms ordinary existence into meaningful experience. You wake up knowing your actions matter beyond yourself. You work with awareness that your behavior influences others. You rest peacefully knowing you tried to live according to your values. When life is guided by purpose and service, happiness becomes stable rather than temporary. External conditions may change, but inner meaning remains. This is the deepest form of daily happiness.